am a Wathaurong woman. I am connected to this country and honour and respect this land and my ancestors. We are walking a new journey with voices and knowledge from many different parts of Australia. There are many different mob here: Wathaurong, Wathaurong, Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people. We ask ancestors to walk this journey with us, to protect us and to guide us to grow new stories of connection, health, strength and strong warriors, so the next generation can stand strong in their spirit, their culture and continue to grow stories of connection for their children. We are singing healing for this land.
For many years now, gambling has been sold as a safe and fun way to enjoy ourselves. The truth behind this for many people is vastly different. If you speak to a family member of someone with an addiction to gambling, they'll tell you it's anything but fun. People young and old experience this addiction, and it's about time we got serious with helping our mob through their struggle. There's a big difference between responsible gambling and problem gambling. Today we're going to explore problem gambling and find ways to walk together and grow a strong spirit on Wathaurong country. Geelong is home to 240,000 residents, making us the largest regional city in the state. Whilst this is impressive, the amount gambled through pokies is certainly not. In the 2016-17 financial year, we gambled $113 million through machines. Yes, that's $113 million in a single year.
In the 2015 and 2016 financial year, the direct cost of gambling in Geelong was $111 million, which has steadily increased from 2010, which was approximately $108 million. The number of venues has been steady across the region for many years, but it's been the number of people that utilise these venues that has increased over time. The Productivity Commission in 2010 released a report that estimates that the indirect social cost of gambling in Australia is about $4.7 billion a year, and that includes the impact on our justice system, employers, and also on families and utilising community services and support services to assist when gambling has impacted the family.
When looking at gambling addiction in Aboriginal communities, we are really looking at health and well-being from a holistic perspective. Therefore, it's vitally important to understand gambling addiction through Aboriginal ways of knowing that has been handed down from our ancestors through ancient knowledge systems from one generation to another.
As human beings, we crave connection throughout our lives. Aboriginal ways of understanding health and well-being are through the connection between our head, heart and spirit, and looking at whether our spirit is out of balance. When we experience a broken spirit, we're disconnected within ourselves. We've lost our way. In times of wonky spirit, our connection between head, heart and spirit begins to strengthen. But we still have a journey to go in bringing balance to our spirit. For a person to be strong in spirit is to know true connection between head, heart and spirit, which in turn connects us to ancestors and culture. Throughout life, we experience broken, wonky and strong spirit, and we move back and forth. Our journey is circular in that way. Connection to spirit is the true essence of our culture. Only with a strong spirit can we overcome the challenges of addiction in everyday life. This includes gambling.
Problem gambling, it's all relative. You can be a millionaire or you can be on a Centrelink benefit. Problem gambling, I guess, it becomes a problem when your life and your lifestyle begins to feel the full impact of what gambling is doing to you. It will affect you financially, culturally, and spiritually. If you're spending time in the pokies, for example, for hours on end, then that's time that you're not spending with your family, with your children and grandchildren. It's affecting people being able to fulfill their cultural obligations. You begin to understand how gambling is creeping into your life and your lifestyle and really taking a hold of it. Talking in an Aboriginal sense, gambling affects people spiritually. It breaks our spirit.
Each of us has experienced broken spirit at one point or another in our lives. In these times, we seek to bond with things which provide a sense of relief, often in unhealthy ways. It's really hard to be positive when you're in such a negative frame of mind or a negative part of your life. And that time in my life when I had a broken spirit, it felt quite sad and lonely and really hard to get out of. It was a really tough time, I guess, and I felt disconnected from culture, community, family, friends.
There was a time in my life when I had a broken spirit. I found myself, my spirit broken. Emotionally, I was empty. My soul was empty. The crying, the disconnection. It was a really horrible process. It took lots of support and the choices that I had to make to find that spirit and reconnect. And it was a process that was really difficult, especially as a single mother. It was really hard to smile. It was really hard to find my place.
I can certainly think of a time when I had a broken spirit, and I can say it was a very lonely and dark time. It came upon me pretty quickly. It was due to the passing of my dad, and it took a long time to try and rebuild any cultural strength or any spirit. All of my being, everything that I ever wanted to achieve was for him. And without him being here, it was, as I said, a very lonely, dark place, and absolutely broken spirit.
Our culture becomes something which is in the background. It's not at the foreground of our thinking in terms of our values and its significance. We lose connection with ourselves. In the long run, problem gambling does not help anyone to cope. And especially for Aboriginal people, I think what needs to be addressed are the issues that have driven our people to gambling or excessive gambling in the first place. Domestic violence, lateral violence, the lateral violence that takes place within our communities, which is something we don't talk about, which I think we really need to. Unresolved grief that our people were experiencing, along with government policies and practices. There were also situations where people were so totally disconnected with themselves and with their country. Issues to do with self-esteem, issues such as black deaths in custody, and the suicide that has taken place in our community. Deep sadness. You could understand why they felt that they needed to escape.
Moving from broken spirit to wonky spirit is an important step in reconnecting to self, family and friends. Having an awareness of your own emotional well-being is a sign that you're moving in the right direction of recovery. Wonky spirit means hope for a better future.
Yeah, I certainly have had wonky spirit before. I know exactly what you're talking about there. I had a moment where everything that was going on in the head and the heart just didn't connect, and I couldn't understand what was actually happening, and I had to go back and talk with quite a few of my mentors and find out exactly what was going on, and I was told to go back to ceremony, go back to the original ceremonies that I was taught, and to reconnect, to start believing in the old spirits and the old people again. And I never actually thought that I'd stop believing in them, but somewhere in there I'd lost that connection, so I understand the wonky spirit.
There was a time when I had wonky spirit, so I come from broken spirit, and then I found myself with wonky spirit. I didn't know if I'd ever become that person I was before my broken spirit. I found that journey of finding myself, being able to find happiness. What was it that I had to find within me to get from my broken spirit, my wonky spirit, to be my strong spirit? And I had to seek support with that. I also had to understand about unpacking, understand about trauma and healing, and be really mindful of what my spirit and my emotional well-being was telling me from within. And I had to walk that journey and find myself again. And it was a wonky spirit journey that I found myself walking. I reached out to an elder in the community and I explained to her what was happening to me. She helped me. She helped me connect. She helped me to get support. And she helped me start that journey. And it's just really important that we have a yarn and we start that conversation so we can walk forward on that journey of strong spirit.
Sometimes the road is so dark, I'm not sure I'll make it through.
Starting the conversations around gambling with clients, I think the best way is just to identify it, to put it out there, to talk and say, I can understand why you're needing either food vouchers and things like that, but have you ever looked at why? Because it starts a conversation around, sometimes these things are happening because of other issues, and those issues could be gambling, could be the drug and alcohol, could be the family violence, things that don't necessarily come with a referral. Gambling is something that I don't think a lot of people realise can be so addictive. So I think it's really good to be able to talk to them straight out. Do you identify that there could be a gambling issue? So I think just having a yarn.
For someone to grow their story strong with gambling, it's just having the connections, like being connected to culture, connected to community, and you've got that support to fall back on if you're having thoughts or you're having a bad day. You can see your Aboriginal health workers or your counsellor to be able to help you, move forward in life and be able to stay strong. Counselling can help people in a lot of ways. I think for me personally, I see counselling as a really good tool. So it's like in life it's like you get given a toolbox. I think counselling can actually give you more tools to fill that toolbox up. For you to be able to go about your everyday life, and then when something confronts you or you have an issue or something, you can reach your toolbox and look through it and go, oh yeah, I need to use this tool today because it's going to get me through to this, or I can use this tool and it's going to stop that and fix this. So I think I look at counselling as a really good toolbox and structure to be able to give you tools to deal with your everyday life and all the challenges that it brings.
The best thing about community is that there's already 20, 30, 40, 50 sets of eyes on you, And if you're falling over, there's always a handful of people to pick you up, tell you what's going wrong and how you can get back on track. It's a support network of so many people that can carry you and lift you even when you don't feel like you can carry yourself. It's a group that you can feel, and it's a group that you can see that are just always around. Even when you're on your own, you know that you're supported.
Strong spirit is absolutely important for community. It's integral to a community in the way that it operates. There needs to be senior people within a community that has the strength of spirit, that has the old stories, has the old strength from the old people. For so long we've had such a broken spirit, we've had a broken culture, we've lost language, we've lost children, we've lost old people. It's so important that we keep strong. If we don't keep strong, then I sit and I often wonder what's our children's future going to look like if they don't have the strengths behind them.
Having a strong story is to be proud. Proud that you've taken that first step to actually identify that there are issues there. Then I think you should be more proud to be an Aboriginal person that takes anything on and can take anything on with just having a yarn. I think it's really important that people are able to stand proud and not have the shame of having addictions. So being able to identify just the smallest steps that they can take can lead them on such a great path in the future.
Brothers and sisters walking hand in hand.
Strong spirit is a sense of belonging. It's a sense of connection.
My moment of strong spirit is right now. The moment that I'm in at this exact moment is strong spirit moment.
For me, having strong spirit now in my life, it feels amazing. For me, it's surfing and being connected to the water and land. And I love when I finish work, I love taking my shoes off and just getting my feet dirty or rub them in the sand. Having a strong spirit's amazing because when you have a strong spirit, it shines and glows. When people see you strong and see where you've been, they can see that it's achievable and they can get there.
But a strong spirit is sometimes not about your influences, it's about within. You've got to find that strong self-worth, that strong knowledge, and connect to those things that'll make you a strong person. A sense of connection, if that's your culture, your identity, your community.
It is extreme passion. It's the fire of my old people that burns in my heart. It comes through in the way that I speak. It comes through in the way that I perform. It comes through in these lines, the ochre that's on my body. You paint this ochre onto your body and know that thousands of generations of my old people have done exactly the same thing, exactly the same markings. Strength, real strength. As soon as you put this on, you feel like you're 10 foot tall. That's strong spirit.
When we are in strong spirit, we have connections between our head, heart, and our spirit. We are free from addiction. We all need support in our journeys of recovery. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Check your local area for services that can provide support to you.
We need to continue to grow our stories of strength, resilience, and strong warriors. We need to help each other up so the next generation can stand strong in their spirit, their community, and their culture. We are Wathaurong people, Wathaurong people, Aboriginal people, and non-Aboriginal people. Many different mob here on this country, but we all sing the one song on this land, healing. Let's all walk together to continue to grow strong spirit in Wathaurong country.
How are you
You're going to start the conversation
Around gambling
In your community.